She posted, "A real man isn't insecure about his girl having guy friends." I commented, "Facts." Then I posted a pic from a gym with my new girlfriend, her personal trainer. Her WTF is this? Comment. Original post. I, 32 male, am, or I guess was, a pretty simple guy. I have a good job in data security, I own my condo, and I thought I had a great relationship. My girlfriend, Tessa, 29, has been living with me for about 3 years. We've been together for 4. The arrangement was easy. I own the place, so I cover the mortgage, utilities, and her car payment. It's a 22 Mazda, nice but not crazy, all in my name. She works part-time at a high-end clothing boutique, which mostly just covers her personal shopping and brunch budget. I was happy to handle the big stuff. I loved her. I thought we were building a life. Enter Julian. Julian is her work bestie from about 6 months ago. Suddenly, it was Julian thinks this. Julian and I had the funniest lunch. Julian's having problems with his girlfriend. I need to talk him through it. The late-night text started. The quick drink after work that went until 10 p.m. The inside jokes I wasn't privy to. I brought it up, calmly. "Hey, I'm feeling a little weird about how much time you're spending with Julian. It feels flirty." The gaslighting was immediate. "Wow, so I can't have guy friends? You're really that insecure? He's just a friend, Leo. God, I thought you were more confident than this." It's honestly a turn-off. I backed off. Apologized. I was the problem. This cycle repeated 3 more times. Each time I brought up a boundary, maybe not texting him goodnight at midnight, I was controlling, paranoid, and insecure. Then last Tuesday, she posted it. A brunch pic that I paid for, with some generic inspirational quote plastered on it. "A real man isn't insecure about his girl having guy friends. He trusts her. If you can't handle her friendships, you're a boy, not a man." She didn't tag me, but she didn't have to. It was a clear subtweet, meant for me. My stomach dropped. I was angry, yeah, but mostly just tired. The audacity. I'd already been suspicious. This post, though, this was her feeling smug. She thought she'd won. She thought she'd beaten me into submission. So I replied. Under her post, for all her friends to see, I just commented, "Facts." She liked the comment, probably thinking I'd finally gotten the message. Here's the thing. Tessa's been using my money to pay for a personal trainer, Nina, at a fancy gym for the last year. I've met Nina a few times. She's all business, very professional. An hour after I commented facts, I sent Nina an email. Subject, urgent session booking. "Hey Nina, it's Leo, Tessa's boyfriend. I need to book a private session with you tomorrow. I also have a slightly weird, purely professional request I'd like to discuss. I'm happy to pay double your normal rate for your time and discretion. Let me know." She replied in 10 minutes. "See you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Happy to discuss." I showed up at 4 p.m. yesterday, Wednesday. "Hi, Nina. Thanks for fitting me in." "No problem. What's the request?" I took a breath. This is going to sound strange. Tessa and I are having problems. She's been disrespectful. I'm not actually here to train. I want to pay you for 2 hours of your time in cash right now. In exchange, I just need you to take a quick, harmless gym selfie with me. Just us in gym gear, maybe by the weights. I'll post it, and that's it. It's a stupid, petty relationship game, but she started it, and I'm just playing by her rules. Nina looked at me for a long second. Then she smirked. "Tessa, right? The one who's always on her phone, taking selfies in the mirror and complaining about her controlling boyfriend. That's the one. Yeah, okay. I'm in. Let's make it look good. You're paying for my time, after all." We took 5 photos. The one we picked was great. Me looking focused, Nina behind me in her trainer shirt, spotting me on a bench press. It looked completely professional, but also friendly. Intimate, in that gym partner way. I went to my car, opened Instagram, and posted it. The caption, "Needed a change in my routine. Glad I finally got a session with the best trainer in the business. Thanks for pushing me, Nina. Hashtag fitness, hashtag new goals, hashtag health." I tagged Nina. I tagged the gym. I drove home. By the time I pulled into my garage 20 minutes later, my phone was blowing up. 3 missed calls from Tessa. 5 texts. What is that? Who is Nina? She's my trainer? Why are you meeting my trainer behind my back? Are you sleeping with her? Then, The main event. A comment on my post from Tessa. WTF? Is this? Leo? Answer your phone. I sat in my car for a minute. The sheer, unadulterated hypocrisy was breathtaking. She could have a guy friend she was clearly emotionally and probably physically involved with, but I couldn't even hire her own trainer for a professional session without being accused of cheating. I walked inside. She wasn't home, probably out with Julian. I replied to her comment. Just taking your advice. A real woman isn't insecure about her guy having girlfriends, right? Nina's just a friend. Stop being paranoid. I then turned off my phone. I went to the spare room, got out a bunch of moving boxes, and started packing her things. The affair was one thing. The disrespect and public gaslighting was another. But the hypocrisy? That's what sealed the deal. She came storming in around 7 p.m. Leo, what the hell is your problem? I just pointed to the boxes. Which ones are your shoes? What? What is this? Are you kidding me? You're breaking up with me because I got mad about your stupid, shady picture. I finally looked at her. No, Tessa, I'm breaking up with you because you're sleeping with Julian. The color drained from her face. All the righteous anger just evaporated. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, I went back to packing. I'm not. He's my friend. Cool. Then you can go stay with your friend. I want you out. Tonight. You're throwing me out? The tears started. Over a misunderstanding? Because you're insecure. Tessa, I saw the hotel reservation for this weekend on your laptop. The one you forgot to log out of. The one booked for Mr. and Mrs. Julian Peters. So please, stop. She just stared at me. Silent. You're a psycho. You went through my things. You left it open on the dining table. Pack your bags. You have an hour. You can't do this. I live here. I have rights. You're not on the mortgage. You're not on the deed. You're a guest. And it's time to leave. She completely lost it. Screaming, crying, throwing things. Saying I ruined this. That if I had just been more of a man and less controlling, she wouldn't have needed to find comfort with Julian. She finally grabbed her purse and her overnight bag. Fine. I'll stay with a friend. You're going to regret this, Leo. You'll be begging me to come back in a week. She slammed the door so hard a picture fell off the wall. I waited until I heard her car, the one I pay for, peel out of the parking lot. Then I called a 24/7 locksmith. Update 1. It's been about a week since Postgate, as my buddy Ben is calling it. The locksmith came that night and changed the deadbolt and the garage door code. Cost me a pretty penny, but the peace of mind was worth it. For 2 days, silence. I think Tessa was fully committed to the hill come crawling back strategy. She was probably posted up at Julian's, telling him how crazy I was, expecting me to be blowing up her phone with apologies. I did the opposite. I methodically finished packing all her belongings. Clothes, makeup, shoes, knickknacks. I piled the 20-plus boxes neatly by the front door. Then I handled the financials. Phone. She was on my family plan. Logged in, ported her number to a prepaid burner SIM I bought at a convenience store. T-Mobile was surprisingly helpful. Yes, I want to transfer this line. I'm the primary account holder. That SIM is now sitting in my desk drawer. Her iPhone is now a very expensive brick unless she goes and gets her own plan. Car. This was the big one. The Mazda is 100% in my name. The loan, the title, everything. I'm the only one legally on it. I called the dealership where I bought it. Hey, I'm interested in selling my 22 Mazda CX-5. What's the trade-in/buyback look like? I made an appointment for the next day. Bank. I don't have joint accounts, thank God. But she had a debit card for a small household account. I'd put $1,000 in a month for groceries. I transferred the remaining $600-ish bucks to my main checking and closed the account. I spent the rest of the time cleaning. Deep cleaning. Getting the smell of her perfume out of the curtains. It was therapeutic. The explosion came on Saturday. I was watching a movie when my phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number because, I cut hers off. My phone isn't working. WTF did you do? I ignored it. Another one. Let me in. My key isn't working. Open the door, Leo. I looked through the peephole. There she was, looking furious. I opened the door just a crack. Leo, what is this? My key. My phone. What is wrong with you? I changed the locks, Tessa, and I'm not paying for your phone plan anymore. We broke up. You can't just lock me out. My stuff is in there. My clothes. My laptop. My mixer. Ah, the KitchenAid I bought her for Christmas. Your belongings are right here, I said, pointing to the boxes. You can schedule a time to come and get them. With a police escort if you want. But you're not coming in. This is my home. This is my condo. You left. You're staying with Julian. Remember? You? Qley. She actually tried to push the door open. I blocked it. Tessa, leave, or I'm calling the police for trespassing. I'm calling them. And she did. She stood on my front step and called 911, claiming I'd illegally evicted her and was holding her property hostage. Big yikes. 2 officers showed up about 30 minutes later. She'd been sitting on the steps, crying. She put on a show for them. Officer, thank you for coming. My fiancé ex. He locked me out. He's crazy. He went through my things. He's keeping all my possessions. He just snapped. The older officer looked tired. He looked at me. Sir, what's going on here? Officer, this is my condo. I produced my driver's license with the address and my mortgage statement, which I'd helpfully placed by the door. My name only. Ms. Alvarez, I used her last name, was my girlfriend and was living here as a guest. She left 4 days ago after I discovered she was having an affair. She's been staying with her new partner. I packed her belongings for her, and she's free to retrieve them at a civil time. He's lying. He's abusive. The officer held up a hand. Ma'am, is your name on the deed or any lease? Well, no, but did you pay rent or utilities? I bought groceries. I decorated. The cop sighed. Sir, you can't legally just keep her things. She has to be able to retrieve her property. I have no intention of doing that, officer. Her 23 boxes of personal items are right here. I opened the door wide so they could see the mountain of neatly taped boxes. She can take them right now. Tessa's face went white. This wasn't the plan. She expected to be let back in. I can't take all that right now. I came here in his car. Where's my car, Leo? She looked at the empty parking space where her Mazda always was. Oh, I said as calmly as I could. I sold it yesterday. It was my car, my loan. I'm not paying for it anymore. I honestly thought she might faint. Even the cops looked surprised. You sold my car? She whispered. I sold my car, I corrected. The one I was letting you use. We're not together, Tessa. The free ride is over. This is theft. Officer, he stole my car. The younger cop looked at me. Sir, did you sell a vehicle registered to you? Yes, officer. Title, loan, registration, all 100% in my name. I have the bill of sale right here. I handed him the folder. The older cop turned to Tessa. Ma'am, this is a civil matter. He has packed your things. He sold his own car. There's no crime here. You need to arrange to get your boxes and leave. But where am I supposed to go? How am I supposed to get my stuff? That's not a police matter, ma'am. You said you were staying with a friend. I suggest you call them. She looked utterly defeated. She ended up calling Julian, who apparently wasn't thrilled to come over. He showed up 20 minutes later in his beat-up old sedan. He wouldn't even look at me. They managed to stuff about 5 boxes in his car, Tessa sobbing the whole time. I'll be back for the rest, she screamed as they drove off. And I'm getting a lawyer. You're going to pay for this. I just waved. Update 2. The fallout from Carmageddon was intense. I gave her 48 hours to get the rest of her stuff, or I was putting it in storage and billing her for it. She and Julian, bless his heart, he looked miserable, came back the next day in a rented U-Haul van. The entire pickup was silent, apart from Tessa occasionally sobbing and glaring at me. I just stood at the door with my arms crossed. I thought, foolishly, that this might be the end of it. Wrong. A few days later, I get a call. Unknown number. It's her father, Mark. Mark is one of those my princess dads, and I knew this was going to be bad. Leo? Mark Alvarez. What in the Sam hell is going on? My daughter is a wreck. Hello, Mark. Tessa and I broke up. Broke up? She said you threw her out, sold her car, and stole her belongings. We're talking about getting the police involved for grand theft. Mark, with all due respect, I didn't steal anything. I sold my car, which was in my name, that I was letting her drive. I packed up her belongings, and she retrieved them. This is all because I found out she's been cheating on me with Julian. Long pause. She said you were the one cheating with her trainer. She said you got paranoid and controlling and kicked her out. Mark, she's lying to you. Ask her to show you the hotel reservation she booked in Julian's name for this coming weekend. She's been gaslighting me for months. I'm done. Now, you listen here, son. A man provides. Even if things go south, you don't just pull the rug out. You sold her car. How is she supposed to get to work? That's a great question for Tessa. Or Julian. It's not my problem anymore. I'm sorry this is messy, but she made her choices. You'll be hearing from our lawyer, he blustered, and hung up. The lawyer turned out to be a threatening letter from some cut-rate attorney her uncle probably knows. It was full of bluster about illegal eviction, conversion of property, that's the legal term for theft, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. It demanded I either buy her a comparable vehicle immediately, pay her a cash settlement of $50,000. I laughed. I scanned it and sent it to an actual lawyer my company has on retainer for contract stuff. His response, this is 90% hot air. Don't respond. He's trying to scare you. They have no case for the car or the eviction, but be prepared for them to try something else. He was right. This something else was a filing in small claims court. This was the next level of entitlement. She wasn't just mad. She was actively trying to extort money from me. She sued me for $10,000, the max in our state. Her claim? Value of stolen and damaged property. She included an itemized list. It was a work of fiction. KitchenAid stand mixer, ruby red, $500. Solstice brand arc lamp, $700. Collection of designer handbags, for $1,500. Emotional distress from theft of vehicle, $2,800. Diamond earrings, family heirloom, $1,500. I was furious. The mixer and lamp? I bought those. The handbags? She took them. I watched her pack them. And the family heirloom earrings? I've never even seen them. She was manufacturing a theft claim. This wasn't just a breakup anymore. This was a shakedown. My lawyer advised me this was actually good. Small claims is public, and it's binding. Just get your receipts, he said. Get your bank statements. Be more organized than her. Judges hate liars. So I did. I spent a weekend pulling every single receipt. Amazon order for the KitchenAid. Paid by my Visa. West Elm order for the lamp. Paid by my Amex. My mortgage statement. My utility bills. The car loan statements. The bill of sale for the car. Bank statements for the last 3 years showing zero financial contribution from her for rent, mortgage, or utilities. I even printed her Instagram post and my comment and her WTF comment on my post. I put it all in a very neat tab binder. This wasn't about revenge anymore. This was about defense. She was trying to ruin me and paint me as a thief, all because she got caught and I took away her free car. The entitlement was staggering. She genuinely believed she was owed this lifestyle, even while she was betraying me. The court date was set for 3 weeks. This was going to be a show. Final update. It's been 4 months. The court date was last week. I'm still processing the whole thing. I showed up in my best suit. My lawyer couldn't represent me in small claims, but he'd prepped me within an inch of my life. I had my binder. I was ready. Tessa showed up with her father, Mark, and Julian. Julian looked like he'd rather be literally anywhere else. Tessa was dressed like she was going to a funeral, all in black, dabbing at her eyes. Our case was called. The judge, a no-nonsense woman who looked like she'd seen it all, swore us in. Ms. Alvarez, this is your claim. You have 10 minutes. Go. Tessa, with Mark whispering to her, launched into a performance. She was the victim. I was the monster. Your Honor, Leo. Mister, my last name, he's controlling. When I tried to get space, he snapped. He locked me out of her home, stole my car, and he kept my property. Things that were mine. What things specifically? The judge asked, looking at the filing. My KitchenAid mixer. My lamp. My handbags. And here come the waterworks, my great-grandmother's diamond earrings. They were all I have left of her. The judge looked at me. Mister, my last name? Your response. I stood up. Your Honor, I have a binder of evidence I'd like to submit. The judge nodded. I handed a copy to her and to Tessa. Tessa just glared at it. Your Honor, Ms. Alvarez and I were dating. She lived in my condo, which I own outright, as my guest. She did not pay rent or utilities, as evidenced in Tab A, which shows 3 years of mortgage and utility statements, all in my name. Tab B shows the Amazon receipt for the KitchenAid mixer, purchased by me, shipped to my address. Tab C shows the West Elm receipt for the arc lamp, also purchased by me. Tab D is a photograph I took of Ms. Alvarez, timestamped from her moving day, showing her loading the designer handbag she claims I stole into the U-Haul van. I heard her father hiss, "You idiot." Tessa was bright red. But they were gifts," she stammered. He stole my earrings." Your Honor, I said calmly. I have never seen any heirloom earrings. This is the first I'm hearing of them. Given that the other items on her claim are verifiably false, I'd ask you to consider the likelihood of this one unsubstantiated claim. The judge looked at Tessa. Ms. Alvarez, do you have any proof these earrings exist? A photo? An insurance appraisal? I know. You don't insure something like that. You just have it. And do you have any proof that any of these items were gifts and not just household items you used while living in his home for free? He said, "Happy birthday," when he gave me the mixer. The judge leveled a stare at her. So he let you use his mixer. That doesn't make it your property upon your departure. The judge then looked at the $2,800 claim for emotional distress from the car. On this matter, I said, Tab E contains the car title, loan, and registration, all solely in my name. Tab F is the bill of sale. I sold my own property. He knew I needed it. Tessa shrieked. It is not this court's job to mandate that Mr., my last name, provide you with a car, ma'am. The judge closed the binder. Ms. Alvarez, you have filed a claim for items you either took with you or that were never your property to begin with. You've provided zero evidence for your other claims. Mr., my last name, has provided extensive, documented proof refuting your entire case. Judgment for the defendant. This case is dismissed with prejudice. Ms. Alvarez, you will also pay the defendant's court filing fees of $150. Do not bring this matter back to this court. Tessa was silent. She looked broken, not sad but furious, humiliated. Mark grabbed her arm and practically dragged her out of the courtroom. Julian scrambled after them. I just stood there for a minute. The relief was overwhelming. I walked out and saw them having a massive fight in the parking lot. Tessa was screaming at Julian. This is your fault. You were supposed to back me up. You just sat there. Julian, back you up? You lied. You told me he stole that stuff. You're crazy. Mark was just rubbing his temples, looking like he'd aged 10 years. I didn't stick around. I just got in my car and drove home. It cost me a few thousand in lawyer consultations and a lot of stress. I had to face a false legal claim. It wasn't a fun revenge, but it was real. I heard from Ben, who knows someone who knows Julian, that Tessa and Julian broke up a week after the court case. Apparently, living together in his crappy one-bedroom apartment without my money funding her lifestyle wasn't the romantic dream she'd imagined. Last I heard, she's back living with her parents. Her dad had to buy her a 10-year-old Toyota. As for me, I'm good. I'm lighter. The condo is mine. I'm dating again, someone who actually pays for her own brunch. I even saw Nina, the trainer, at the gym last week. She gave me a nod. Saw your ex's name on the small claims docket. Looked like a rough one. You have no idea, I said. Well, she said with a small smile. Looks like you won. Yeah, I guess I did.